Alright, so hello everyone, it's Legion of Guile here again. This time, it's time for a review of Death of the Family, the second major arc of the New 52 Batman, run by Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo. It ran from issues 13 to 17, so that was nearly half a year this arc ran for, and in this arc, this is Joker's appearance in the New 52 Batman main title. I think he appeared in Detective Comics previously, in the arc with the doll maker, and this was also another arc focused around the Bat family and Batman's relationship with the Bat family and also his relationship with the Joker. So once again, I'm just going to go over the what I liked about the arc and the different elements of why I liked it, and if there are what I didn't like about the arc. Okay, so what I really liked about this arc was because that it involved all the Bat family, or the direct Bat family, even though Night of the Owls incorporated a lot of the characters in. That was mainly through tie-ins and brief appearances, and we didn't really get them as a key part of the storyline. Because in Court of the Owls, Night of the Owls, they just went around saving different people in the in Gotham, people on the Owls hit lists. So here I enjoyed the fact that we're once again in the New 52, the brave new universe of New 52, where expanding and elaborating upon Batman's relationships with his allies and his friends and stuff like that. Also, what I really liked about this was this entire series, this entire arc, there was a lot of big callbacks and homages to previous Joker storylines. So most notably, of course, would be the name of the arc itself, Death of the Family, a play on the original storyline Death in the Family of when Jason Todd was voted to death by fans and he was killed by the Joker. Of course, he's back now as Red Hood. Also, there's allusions to previous Joker stories, such as Killing Joke, where Joker's talking to Gordon inside the GCPD police station, and he's talking about how different jokes about the clown in the Hawaiian shirt knocking on the front door, which is the prelude to him shooting Barbara in the spine. There's also a scene. Alright, there's gonna be spoilers in this, I guess. So there's also a scene where there's another person dressed up as the Joker, and he's tied to a chair, and Joker's arms are stretched out around him, so it looks like his arms are punching his own face, but in reality the Joker's hands. It's an old joke. And basically that person was the son of Henry Claridge, who first appeared in Batman #1, and he was the Joker's first victim in Gotham. So I thought that was really cool, a callback to the Golden Age story, and also references how he was going to poison the reservoir, and how he used slow-acting poison to kill Henry Claridge, so that even though he was being protected by Batman and GCPD, they couldn't do anything to save him because the poison was in his bloodstream, many hours ago, I think a day ago or something. So I thought that was a really cool idea, just not directly say how they were canon inside the New 52, but also just hint at it. So I thought that was really cool. Also a big part of this I really enjoyed was the artwork. So I've already mentioned before how much I enjoyed the covers of the Court of Owls storyline by Greg Capullo, and once again, the covers themselves are really nice. I'll get into that later, but I like this because here you can clearly see Greg Capullo's art has developed, because previously one of the problems with his art was that a lot of his faces were very similar to each other. So if you just quick, I'm just gonna talk about quickly how uh, like there's this one scene in like the first issue where they're about to go to a dinner and everyone looks exactly the same. Pretty much like all the males look like just Bruce Wayne. Here, that's already improved pretty like a little bit at least, like to varying degrees. Because like a lot of the Bat family appears in this, so characters like Tim, Jason, Dick, and Damien all appear in this unmasked, and that like you can tell like he's improving with like how their faces look different from each other, or like not as they're not completely different compared to the first arc, but like he's already improving on that issue. Also, I really enjoyed the arc in this because the art within this arc, I should say, because while Court of the Owls focused a lot on the like almost noirish aspect of Gotham, like the dark underworld aspect where everything was really refined and like really beautiful because like they were all wearing like really pretty dresses and like really nice suits, and like their hideouts were like and their headquarters and like meeting places were like really fancy places, and like they were really elegant people, the court, and like it was like all these like different frames of like these really nice locations were broken up with like the violence and like the brutality of the Talons. But other than that, like it was a very dark color palette that was used a lot of the time because of like the mysterious nature, I guess, they wanted to evoke within that first arc, and also um the darkness of the Talons as well. So that was a primarily black costume with like gold highlights. Here, I'm actually very much reminded of the Arkham Asylum, A Strange House on a Strange Street, I believe it's called. The one-shot Batman story. In that, it's like that sort of bizarre world. When Batman steps into Arkham during like issue 15 or 16, he steps in Arkham and like Joker's just turned the like entire place like completely upside down, and like all the guards are like being like tortured by him, and there's like people dangling from the roofs, and there's like um guards dressed up as Batman, Joker just dancing forever, uh which was like really morbid and also really like unsettling compared to previous arcs, which was just more violent and sinister. But this one on a serious house on a serious earth. Sorry, not a strange house. But yeah, like it reminded me of that, and also there was like really weird, like not it wasn't imagery as much as it was in Arkham Asylum. It's just more straight up bizarre things like the two-headed lion pop. There was a flaming horse, and then like Joker was trying to construct this like Arthurian legend for Batman. So there was like and like some sort of medieval aspect to it. So like he had to fight like these guards who were like dressed up as like the Knights Templar and this like medieval knights, and had like flaming swords and stuff. And then he like coerced or like convinced other people in the rogues gallery to like pretend to be like different members of like King Batman's court, and he set up like this whole elaborate like allegory to like Excalibur and the Sword and the Stone with an electrified chainsaw. That was like I thought actually that was pretty funny. Like the whole like extent of his joke to like mirror the entire like Arthurian legend, but like it just seemed so ridiculous, and he had like prison guards dressed up as like Justice League members. Like that was really morbid, and that like he forced them to like try to pull out the chainsaw, but also it was like really like funny in a bizarre way because like it was so strange, but it was also like he took this joke to like such a like to like such he took it so far, like so he took this joke really far, and like he forced it a lot as well. So I thought that was pretty funny, like especially with the chainsaw. And I really liked how it played on the fears of Batman, and like how he keeps secrets from like even his closest friends. Like especially there's like these really good scenes with where he's talking to Nightwing, when Jim Gordon just got his blood got thinned by Joker, so like he was bleeding like profusely. Like he was just he couldn't stop bleeding, and like Batman had to put like a coagulant in his blood to like clot the blood, like stabilize him. And he was in hospital and they were outside, and they were talking about how the Joker kidnapped Alfred, and how like Batman knows where he's going to be and stuff, but he doesn't want to tell the rest of the family because he doesn't want them to like be too rash. Even like, and he says like how he can barely control himself. So I thought that was like a really nice way of like, because Dick Grayson is probably the one person aside from Alfred that Batman trusts the most in his family, and they're almost like brothers and like or like a father son relationship, and so I thought that was really cool, like how Batman was explaining to him how like like his own fears and about like the Joker, and like how he doesn't want other people to also like be like him, because if he can't control if he can barely control himself, he doesn't want to know what the other people will do. So I thought that was really cool. Okay, and overall I liked how a lot of the characters were written, especially Gordon. Like I just absolutely love Gordon as a character. Gordon and Bullock have this really cool like dialogue exchange like in the first issue, also issue 13, and they were talking about like police work and stuff, and they were also very like I really like this because it made Bullock and like it's particularly Bullock, it made Bullock a lot like appear really smart, like or like make him to be more intelligent than like the really like gruff and like angry guy like he usually is, because like his like who's like always like smoking. So I thought that was a pretty cool change of pace. Although I will say I didn't like how Gordon was drawn in this. He just seemed really tiny and like lanky in a couple of the panels. But yeah, aside from that, I really thought that Greg Capullo and Scott Snyder delivered a good job on making a new take on the Joker for New 52, and also making him not seem like ridiculous, even though like he has like the goofs and gags and he has like the jokes that he always does, especially like the stuff near towards the end of the series, towards the end of the arc, but also made him like a formidable foe, especially in like the first issue when he goes back to inside the police station and get his face. Like he's actually like pretty scary, and like he knows what he's doing and stuff as well, especially with technology and chemistry and stuff like that. Also like how they redefined like kind of like restated again like the Joker's origin story with Ace Chemicals and stuff like that. Liked how they revisited that as well. I'm not going to get too much into that part because everyone usually should already know like the Joker's origin. So I really like that part as well. Although, okay, now into the stuff I didn't really like. I didn't really like Harley Quinn inside this book. I thought like her dialogue seemed a bit strange. I get that DC was trying to like break away Harley from Joker so that she can be her own character, and so like it can be so she could be like have like her own character, have her own series that's not in Gotham, and like and like try to sell her as her own character, which I completely get, especially for now with how popular the Harley character has gotten. It's just that I feel like that part was just really weird. The part where like Harley's talking to Joker, and she's like, oh, like, will you say that I'm still beautiful? It's like something along those lines, and then the Joker's like, I never said you were beautiful to begin with, which I like. That was just a bit bizarre for me. But aside from Harley Quinn, I also felt like a big problem with this was there wasn't really much of a consequence. Like none of the consequence really stayed. So, there was this part at the end where like the family just doesn't trust Batman, like before they got captured, because like Batman was withholding secrets from them, and then like at the end like he wants to have like dinner with them or something, and they would just like have to get away from him for a bit just to like cool down and stuff, and like he understands that. But then the problem is immediately after this the issue is about the Arthur Requiem, like the Robin Requiem storyline. So like then like they all had to come back together again and like help Batman, and like they were like grief, like they were like dealing with grief and stuff like that, which I thought was kind of unfortunate, like timing wise. Like I would have liked for a couple more issues of like the Bat family not completely trusting Bruce yet. I do believe he mentions it later on. I think it was either later on or an incorporated where he talks about like housing, no more secrets. But I wish that like the air of mistrust could have stayed for a little bit longer. But overall, I felt like this was actually a really nice arc. Just the main arc, none of the tie-ins or anything, or any of the crossover issues. I thought this was a a really good arc. It was it's on the same level as Court of Owls, in my opinion. Because I feel like that while Court of Owls was a Batman centric storyline, which will like, establish like the Batman mythos and also like the history of Gotham. I felt like this one developed the history of Batman and like his relationship with Joker, and also like his relationship with his like allies, like so like the Bat family. So I thought that was really nice, as a starting point for the New 52. Um, so yeah, so now we're going into the covers really quickly. So since there's not as much as there was for Court of Owls, this won't be as long. So the first cover is issue 13. Um, a lot of these covers have Joker on them, like understandable because he's the main villain. So I'm not gonna really like go over them that much. So issue 13 is Joker putting on lipstick, or like red lipstick. And he's looking himself in the mirror after he just got his face back. It's a good cover. Like, his eye, like you can see one of his eyes, like his right eye is like open and it's like really wide. Um, it's fine. I mean, like, I feel like the issue, like this isn't the strongest cover, but like it's completely fine. It's not bad or anything. Issue 14 has Joker in his Joe's garage, like disguise costume, and he's like monitoring the rest of the Bat family. I like this one because it shows like how the Joker's he's watching all of them. Um, and I also like how like the Joker's like dead center of the cover, like at the bottom. He's like in the middle of it, and then like he's like it's surrounded by like the monitors on the computers and stuff. I like that. Like I just like the kind of symmetry of it. I thought that was pretty nice. Issue 15. I actually really like this cover. It's a very simple cover, but I really like it. It's like an outline of Batman, and like it's like his brain. Well, yeah, his brain is like there's like a shape of like something resembling his brain. Like Joker's inside, and he's like laughing. I really like this one. It kind of symbolizes to me how like the Joker's just like always messing with Batman's head. Similar to kind of like a almost like Sherlock Holmes, Professor Moriarty kind of situation where like Professor Moriarty is always like tormenting Sherlock Holmes, uh, and in the novels, like even after his death, like he was like afflicted by like Moriarty's henchmen, like the sniper guy, like a lot of his henchmen were also still tormenting Sherlock Holmes. So and like I like how here as well. So like Batman, like he knows what's going to happen because like he knows that Joker's like mirroring like their first encounter and stuff like that. But like there's also a sense of fear, like is he just completely playing into Joker's hand. So yeah, I really like this cover. It's also really simple. It's mainly black and white aside from Joker. So yeah, I like this cover a lot. 16. This is where it just starts to get like weird. Like the covers just gets really creepy. This one's really, particularly this one because like here, Joker's wearing like this is when Joker's like captured the Bat family and he's got like he's got one of the Robin's masks because it's black, or like Nightwing's mask, I guess. He's got Robin's like coat, like his shirt. And he's got like Alfred's like suit coat, and he's also got like Batman's like arm, like his gauntlet thing with the spikes coming out. This one's also pretty unnerving because of the Joker. Like his eyes are really tiny, and like you can only see the whites of his eyes, and his teeth are really like he's got like a really huge grin on his face, and he's just staring directly at the viewer, at the audience, and he's also like centered. He's also pretty much centered on the page. I feel like this does a good job of being unnerving and also like slightly creepy. It also shows like the Joker's like got the Bat family. Like it conveys to the reader like oh the Joker's got like the Bat family, or like Batman, Robin, and like Alfred in like some sort of predicament. Like and like the way he's smiling perhaps makes the reader think like he's like got them in like a trap or something like that. Really like this cover. The only problem is like the background. Um, like a little bit of the background around the Batman logo could maybe be better. But yeah, I like this is a fine cover. And issue 17, probably my favorite cover of this entire arc is Joker and Batman dancing except Batman's in an empty suit. So then the dancing like the rain, and there's like blood on the bat suit. I like this cover a lot. It's very simple. It's mainly white, black, and red. The red being on the Joker's flower and like bow tie, and also like the blood stains on the bat suit. I really love this cover. I think it's simple, elegant, and also it's creepy enough that it works for the arc. So yeah, this is already 20 minutes, but yeah, I think overall the covers for this one was weak, definitely weaker than Court of Owls, but they're also completely fine on their own. So yeah, that was Death of the Family. I thoroughly enjoyed this arc on rereading it. It's out on trade right now. You can go pick it up in hardcover and softcover. And yeah, until next time, this has been Legion of Gale.